everybody. Welcome to this episode of Magic the Amateuring. I'm one of your hosts.
Did you have a brain fart?
Megan.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
No, honestly, I just didn't know. Like, it felt so weird to jump straight into a normal show intro.
Yeah, it was tough.
As though we're a regular podcast.
Like we're real human people and not aliens pretending to do a podcast on this game called Magic to fit in with society.
Exactly. Speaking of, man, my...
What were you going to say?
I can't.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I was just going to say, like, man, my skin suit feels tight.
I knew it. I'm sorry, buddy. You can just eat, you can just find another human.
Oh, man. Yeah, right?
I mean, and trade up.
Exactly. If you guys see a different host on this show in the future, you'll know what happened.
We just blew our cover entirely,
but
bummer. Thanks for sticking with us, despite the fact that we are from Gleetron 7.
Yep.
We didn't have a home. It was...
Yeah, no, it was rough.
It was bad for a while.
It was. The entire place was just one big pond.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even have the ecological variety of an ocean.
No, it was a pond.
It was just a pond, which is the most boring tiny body of water there is.
And if you were an alien living on a pond planet, let me tell you, you would take the first quad blaster off that place.
You really would. You'd,
That's what we did.
You'd fabricate yourself a nice human suit and wear... I can't... I feel like a crazy person when I say that.
Human suit? Well,
yeah.
I mean, I get it.
It's not a normal thing to say. It feels massively creepy. I've never said anything creepier.
She just saw Men in Black for the first time.
That's true.
Which is maybe where this is coming from.
That's true. Yeah, and I was also thinking of the Doctor Who episode.
Oh yeah.
It's 2 episodes back to back, right?
Yes.
Because they end up blowing up one of the buildings.
It's rough.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, if you are like us, displaced aliens out there, get in touch. Tell us what solar system you're from.
Yes.
What universe? We're from Universe 5 Beta.
Yep.
So that's home.
It is. Man, I miss it. The stars sure do look different from there.
Yeah, they do. But today we're going to be talking about Magic the Gathering because we're human beings.
Because we are real people with people interests.
That's right.
Like magic.
And on today's show, we're kind of wrapping up 2016, We're about to pour a bunch of water on this dumpster fire and get the heck out.
Yes, that's right.
But before we do,
a fresh-faced 2017.
We're going to dip our hand deep into our mailbag. We asked for some questions on Twitter and Facebook, so we'll answer some questions, kind of year-in-review moments.
Yes, and then we are going to also, we have a Flavor Text Theater game coming up for you guys, as well as talking about some new Aether Revolt cards that we haven't talked about yet.
It's going to be a great way to say goodbye to horrible times and hello to maybe not as horrible times, fingers crossed.
Yes, and according to my human coach, it's one of the best ways to display that we are human.
Before we get into the show, of course, we have a couple of orders of business. First one is you have a limited number of days to sign up to receive a free box of Eternal Masters.
That's right. We are having a drawing where you can win a box of Eternal Masters by subscribing to or following our YouTube channel or our Twitch channel.
Yeah, you have until the 31st to enter, and the way that you enter is by following the Gleam link that we tweeted out or we put on our Facebook page. Twitter is at MTAcast, Facebook is /MTAcast. So go there and click on that link to subscribe to Twitch or follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, and you will be entered to win. You can be anywhere in the world, and we will send you a box of Eternal Masters.
Holy cow! I saw the box.
It's down.
It's here.
It's here in this house.
It's here in this house, and it's beautiful.
It is really hard not to crack those beautiful boosters.
Oh, it's amazing. It's all in its beautiful shrink wrap packaging.
I know, it's so good.
It's incredible. So enter to win, and thank you all so much, as usual, to all of our patrons on Patreon, helping keep the show happening and the lights on.
Yep.
And I was trying to think of an alien thing to put in there, but I can't.
The coal crystals running the ship.
Exactly.
And we, by the way,
God, we managed to interstellar travel, and our ships still run on coal crystals. God.
I should mention that a member of the Less Than 1% Club on Patreon started a Facebook group for everybody who is a patron and wants to chat about the show.
Yeah.
So reply to his message. It's posted on our Patreon page. Michael's set it up. So if you want to join the group, reply there, and I think he will let you know how to do that. But that's kind of cool because Less Than 1% Club is an exclusive club, Megan.
Exactly. And now you can have an exclusive place to hang out and talk about how exclusive you are.
Yes. And thank you, of course, to our sponsor, Card Kingdom.
That's right, cardkingdom.com/MTAcast. If you haven't gotten gifts yet for people,
you're late, buddy.
Holy cow, get on that.
Get on it.
Everybody loves a gift, no matter what you're celebrating or if you're not celebrating anything at all. Presents are just a nice thing to give people.
Yeah.
Or you can give a present to yourself.
Yeah, because you made it, you know?
Exactly, and you deserve it. So it's a great place for singles, boosters, paraphernalia.
Yeah.
For playing Magic, etc., etc.
And we're going to start, people are starting to put their brewing hats on, too, as these cards are previewed.
Ooh.
So maybe start thinking about what you want to, get yourself for Standard or Modern or whatever the heck kind of deck you want to build. Commander.
How are you going to be getting rid of your opponent's permanents in the upcoming set? Question I always ask myself.
How are you going to be playing fast enough so your opponent can't even, their counterspell's worthless?
Exactly.
Let me ask you that.
No.
How are you going to do that? Cardkingdom.com.
What beautiful sweepers
MTAcast.
will you be casting to get rid of all of your opponent's permanents?
We're like the Odd Couple.
Yeah, we are.
I've actually never seen that show.
Me neither.
Okay.
But you know what? Like, it sounds correct.
It's mailbag time. Santa's not the only one with a huge sack. We've got a bag full of questions here for you. From you, rather. And our answers will be for you.
That's right.
These questions are, they range from the serious to the silly. So let's hit it.
Yeah. So first one is from Mark Rosen. Why does blue Jello taste like green Jello?
I thought you were going to say Mark Rosewater. If only that's what he wanted to know.
That's all. It's because Jello is a fake thing.
Yeah,
Jello is 100% fake.
Can be whatever it wants to be and whatever color it wants to be.
It can be any shape. It can be basically any shape.
In Minnesota, we have a proud history of Jello molds.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
or 7-layer Jellos. My grandma used to make 7-layer
with
Jello.
the fruit inside.
Hers doesn't have. It wasn't fruit.
What was it?
Just like it was literally like these thin little layers of Jello.
Oh.
It was like in a 9x13 pan, and it was just 7 very thin Jello layers of all different flavors.
That sounds like a delight.
It was a delight. It was really good.
Next question.
Yes.
What were your favorite and least favorite memories of Magic this past year?
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's a good question.
That's a 2-for-1 right there. Speaking of 2-for-1s, if you haven't listened to our Christmas episode,
go listen to it.
We have some lovely holiday songs in there.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go with my favorite was GP Minneapolis.
Oh my gosh, was that this year?
It was.
That's so weird.
Maria, that was May of this year. Isn't that
it
crazy?
Feels like
it wasn't even
years
January
ago.
of this year. It was May of this year. Deal with it.
Wow. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And we're getting another one next year as well.
Yes, we are.
So GP Minneapolis was super fun. It was our first day too.
Yeah.
So that was a wonderful
memory.
Yeah,
great
I
memory.
Agree. Megan locked up day 2 first, and then I locked up day 2, and we tweeted little photos out of it. It was a special time.
Great. It really was. Least favorite memory, Maria.
Oh boy. Least favorite memory.
Yeah.
Man. I'm trying to even think, but I have more favorite memories.
Yeah. Like, gosh, I feel like I mostly only remember great things.
Well, that's probably good.
Yeah. Oh, man. For some people, I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but when I was doing the social media coverage of the World Championship, some people know I was hospitalized for a day.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
With like some of the worst pain I've ever experienced.
It was so weird.
It was so terrible, and I was in the emergency room for 6 hours, hooked up to all sorts of stuff. And then eventually they were like, "We don't know what's wrong with you.
Goodbye!
Go home." And I'm gonna call that magic related because I was like there for the
you were there for the
I
magic.
missed the first day of work that day because I was in the emergency room.
Did you ever?
It was terrible.
Do you ever think you figured out what it was?
No, I still have no idea.
Man, that
No
was
idea.
weird.
It was so crazy. You remember? I
do.
In so much pain.
You know, that reminds me of a malady that happened to me.
Yeah.
When we were doing a coverage summit.
Yeah.
And I had been stung by a catfish.
Right. We've both been to the same emergency room in Seattle, Washington, where we do not live.
Yes. And so I thought it would go away. Turns out getting stung by a catfish is quite painful. And it was in my finger. And I got off the plane and my finger was like 3 times the size that it should have been on. That night I was like, I got it.
And you like couldn't bend your finger
I couldn't
at all.
bend it. It was hurt terribly.
Yeah.
So I had to go into the ER at like 1 a.m. when we're supposed to be there for the conference the next day at 9 a.m. And the doctor had to take out bits of the catfish barb that were still stuck in my finger.
Oh, man.
And gave me antibiotics. That was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad. So both of our worst memories involve going to an emergency room in Seattle.
Yeah. But think about, we did the pre-release for the first time this year.
That was incredible.
That was awesome.
That was so great. Which, by the way, that's coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Yes, it is.
So make sure that you are following Loading Ready Run's YouTube or Twitch channel so that you can watch that. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and follow them on Twitch too. I mean, Twitch. Gosh, I'm misspeaking today.
YouTube. Twitter.
Yeah,
all of it.
do all of it because it's a fantastic event and you'll head into your pre-release.
Gosh, that was so much fun.
It was amazing. It really was.
Such a great time.
And we helped out with coverage this year.
Yeah, it was our first time working coverage.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Such a learning experience.
This is like a huge, great year.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're doing a very long answer to this question, but
it was
an awesome
year. There was a lot
year.
that went on. And several emergency room visits.
Yep. Justin asks, should Emrakul get the banhammer in standard?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's dominant enough at all.
No.
I think that if anything were contemplated for a ban, it would be Aetherworks Marvel.
Yes.
But even that, like we saw at the finals at GP Denver, like there are decks that can keep it in check, like Mardu vehicles.
Yeah.
So I think no.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Do you ladies? Oh, there's 2 people that asked that. Okay. Jeff also wanted to know that.
Jeff Bugenhagen.
Okay.
Great last name.
Caleb asks, favorite pet cards, all formats.
Treasure Cruise.
Gremlins are literally our pets. I mean,
that's true.
We're not housing them, consulate.
But yes.
Megan loves Treasure Cruise. I mean, I always say Xava's my favorite card, but just because I love her design so very much. And Unleash is my favorite mechanic. But, I like all the cutest cards that we pick. I would put them in that category for sure.
Yeah.
And cutest card coloring book still on the way, by the way.
It's
in progress, and I've seen some of the pages from it.
Pages. It's going to be so great.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
Keep your eyes out for that.
It's going to be great, you guys.
Scared Pupper wants to know, on a scale from 1 to 10, how pettable is a Johnny?
Ooh,
Great
that's
question.
a good question. Oh, man.
I don't think he's very pettable.
No, honestly, I'm going to give a Johnny, like, a 6.
That's pretty high.
That's very high. But to be fair, I'd put a lot of pets at, like, a 9.
Yeah.
And a Johnny is obviously a planeswalking,
like, kind of
king.
Human.
Yes. So, but still looks like pretty pettable.
I feel like I don't want to pet anything with abs.
I forgot about the abs situation.
Like, unless it is some kind of agreement that we've come to.
Yeah. Sorry, what kind of agreement are you thinking of?
I mean, like, consent. May I? But that's still weird. May I pet you? Like,
I think with the Johnny, you would always have to ask.
Yeah. Like, this, I feel like I'm going up to another, like, sentient being. Yes. And I'm like, can I pet you? That's weird.
Okay, but it's a sentient cat.
Yeah, but... So, like, maybe he gets it all the time.
This is a really good question.
If a Johnny would play with a ball of string, then I might be a little more tempted to give him a scratch behind the ears.
I'm going to adjust back down to, like, a 2.
Yeah. If I'm like, hey, Johnny, look at this little catnip mouse, and he's like, bat, 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 then I'm going to feel a little bit better about being like, hey, buddy, you want a little scritch?
Oh.
But if he looks at me like I'm crazy and says, no, I have, like, a cape and
a scarf. That great scarf.
Then I'm going to feel really weird
about it.
About that situation.
All right. Fair enough. If you were to become a 4-color legendary commander, what color would you drop and why is it blue?
Whoa.
Well, I would
Shots
drop...
fired. What would I drop? I was thinking about this the other day, actually.
I think I would drop black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would.
Man, you know, because people are like, what color are you aligned or whatever? And it's like, whatever you feel in your soul is not necessarily what you play. Mm-hmm. Because I wouldn't really describe myself as a Rakdos human being, because I'm not like somebody who goes and smashes kids' pumpkins on Halloween, but I like to play Rakdos.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if it would probably be blue. I mean, I guess that would probably be what I would drop.
I think mine would be black.
You want to be a good guy.
Well, and I also just feel like maybe I'm a little skewed by Cube right now, but it's just like, I don't know. In a lot of sets, I kind of feel meh about what black does, like black's identity in the color pie in a lot of sets. Like, it just doesn't resonate with me at all. I'm just sort of always like, okay.
You don't, it's like evil, self-interest, I think.
Yeah. And like
Slytherin.
Its mechanics a lot of the times are not my favorite mechanics.
No, that's a good way to think of it.
I'm always just sort of like, okay.
What is black's right now? It's got like fabricate on it.
Fabricate, and like that's like cool.
Yeah.
And it's got what else? I don't know. Anyways, I'm always kind of like, yeah. Maybe it's like you identify partially as like being black on the color pie.
Yeah.
And I identify as being blue on the color pie. And then, like, it's, right, it's a very poetic way of saying, you know, like, we're, like, do you know what? I would drop black because I've got you to do that, you know? You would drop blue because, like, you've got me to do that.
That's
like,
right.
It's fine.
We have partner on our commander cards. Oh, it's so gross. Gross. Roger asks, is a hot dog a sandwich? So this has been a question going on in the Magic community for some reason recently. A big debate about if a burrito is a sandwich. So is a hot dog a sandwich?
Okay, a burrito is not a sandwich.
No, I agree.
want to be exceptionally clear. I'm going to go with...
I'm saying no, a hot dog is not a sandwich. Because if I'm sick or whatever, and I'm like, will you please bring me a sandwich? And somebody brings me a hot dog, and
you
be
would
like,
be upset.
What's wrong with you?
Yes. Okay, I think, like, my first inclination is to agree with you. A hot dog is not a sandwich.
Right.
But then I think about, like, a meatball sandwich, like a meatball sub.
Yeah.
And that feels kind of similar to a hot dog to me.
Yeah, it's
like,
very close.
What makes the difference between a meatball sandwich being a sandwich and a hot dog?
Because a hot dog is its own thing in the world. It's its own separate identity. And a meatball sub kind of never had that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's the difference that I'm looking for. And Magic people are very pedantic. So they will get up in your face that sandwich means something between two breads or something between two whatevers. And that's not how I'm looking at it. I'm just saying, like, I would not call, if someone's like, thank you for the sandwich, I would not say that.
Also, if you went to a barbecue, you know, like a backyard grill out, and someone was serving like meatball sandwiches, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Also, I'd be like excited because I like them.
Yeah.
But you would expect it at a like hot dogs.
Right.
And hot dogs on buns.
Correct.
Is a hamburger a sandwich? I think is a really important issue.
Yes.
Inside of this issue.
Yeah. I'm going to say yes.
Oh, man.
I mean, yeah, I
think it is.
Contradicted myself, too, because a hamburger is his own thing. But yeah, that's a sandwich. If somebody brought me a hamburger when I said sandwich, I'd kind of be like a little weirded out by it, but I wouldn't be like, a hot dog? Get out. You obviously are an alien in wearing a human suit.
Yeah. We know how to identify them.
So this is a similar question. Favorite PT or GP moment this year? I suppose it's a little different. Could be coverage, playing, or whatever. Also, why is LSV hula dancing?
Why is it
LSV hula dancing? Yeah.
Well, is it our favorite, like my favorite GP moment? Definitely Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Making your first day, too, is a huge accomplishment and
so
a huge moment in any Magic player's life. And yeah, I mean, if it's something that we saw, like on coverage or whatever, going back through the Pro Tours and all that kind of stuff, man, I'm having trouble remembering all the, like what year was various things that I saw happen, you know? There's a lot of cool stuff that happened this year coverage-wise in all of the big tournaments. And obviously, LSV hula dancing was a fantastic moment at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Hawaii. That was pretty great. And he has the hips that don't lie. That's for sure.
Damian Evans asks, given the reserve list doesn't exist online, do you think Wizards should do more to encourage eternal play on that platform? Yeah, I would love to see more stuff like Vintage Super League,
Yeah.
I think is super cool. And I think if you're talking about like more types of events, yeah, I think it would be super, super cool. I think it is easier to afford,
Right.
like vintage or legacy on MTGO than it is in paper, especially something like vintage. So yeah, I would love to see more people playing it. I think that they're very cool and interesting formats.
I agree.
So
Yeah, if there's be something that they could do to make it more accessible, I think that would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Alan wants to know, I'd love to hear more of your nicknames for cards mechanics like Hiss and Q, Ishike, and Party Loot. Any more I can add to my lexicon?
Man.
Great question.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, we've said things over the years on this show that, just became what we said.
Yeah.
But
man, I don't know. Those are the big ones for me right now.
yeah, those are for sure
Hiss
the
and
ones.
Q and Ishike.
Ishike. I mean, sometimes I'll call my gremlins my Grammies. But that's not like
I don't want to hear more people doing that.
it's not like a consistent thing.
Yeah.
I think you'll just have to follow along with the show as it happens because I don't have this kind of memory that I can recall
Me neither.
the sweet nicknames that we've given things over the years.
Yeah.
Man. Party Loot is pretty sweet though.
Yeah. Party Scry,
Party Scry,
which is on the Eager Construct.
you can put party before anything that everybody does.
Yeah.
Party Draw.
Party Draw.
I'm sure that's happened.
Yeah.
know.
Jace has a Party Draw.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The 3-mana Jace.
Yeah.
Jace.
Coffee Tokens. What a name, asks, how are your adopted gremlins getting along with the cats?
I would say decently.
Yeah. Gremlins and cats actually not
Pretty similar.
not enemies. They act very, the cats don't eat Aether, but
Yeah.
that's good because the gremlins don't want the cat's food. The gremlins don't use a litter box. They have to be let outside.
Yeah. They're like a split between a dog and a cat.
Yeah, I would say so.
They get along fine.
And also, we don't have any, so weird question.
But we don't have them.
Yeah.
Here.
So, I don't know.
If anyone's asking.
So we got a lot of questions. If Meghan, will you continue playing elves or go back to Lantern or seek a new modern deck?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It is.
I was thinking, like, I think if I try another deck, it will be some version of like red-green Titan Shift, or like red-green through the Breach Titan or something like that.
I can never beat those decks.
I'm super interested in trying those out because I think that deck, there's been some like interesting innovations in that area in the past year that have made that deck like quite good in a lot of situations. It is really bad against Infect, which is terrible because Infect is insane and a lot of people play it. But yeah, so I think I can see myself continuing to play elves because I had a great time. I will always love Lantern. And I can also, I imagine that I will try out some version of red-green Titan decks in the coming year, and I look forward to trying them.
Yeah, we have to make decision for Unified Modern.
Yeah, that's right.
The Team Modern GP.
Woo.
And some related questions, what would I play if Boggles were too busy frolicking with the gremlins? Adorable, first of all.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oof.
I could see you playing Infect.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not. Infect to me, I'm like dumb. That's what I think. I had a lot of fun actually playing Tron. Is the only other deck that I actually spent a good amount of time playing in Modern. Mm-hmm. But it's gotten worse recently. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't still do it. It was a fun deck, and it's a combo deck, but it was a good time. And I don't know if there's anything else in Modern that I'm like, oh, this one for sure. Anyway, so I would guess Tron would be my answer to that question. Yeah. What Planeswalker would you choose to be a flatmate with? This is relevant to my roommate is Planeswalker series. There's some benefits and downsides for all of them.
Yeah.
Chandra might set your place on fire.
Yes.
Liliana's gonna mope in her room all day.
Yes.
Jace's gonna be taking selfies all the time.
All the time.
Johnny might, poop in a box.
Yep.
And give you allergies.
I think
maybe Nissa.
I was gonna say Narset.
Oh yeah, Narset.
She's just cool. She's great.
Oh, man, you definitely don't want Ashyak weaving you nightmares.
No, God, no.
That'd be very creepy.
Never sleep well again.
Nicol Bolas is going to be looking for love the whole time. So.
Xenagos would just throw parties all the time.
All day, all night.
Exactly. All the time. There would be a constant party in your house. It'd be exhausting.
Don't raise a child, so that would be awkward.
It would be weird.
I'm like, where are your parents?
Raul Zarek would maybe blow up your house, but it could be fun. That could be fun.
Yeah, Raul would be a fun roommate.
Yeah. I feel like Raul Zarek could be pretty solid.
Great idea. We just had to talk it out.
Talk it out.
Okay, I think this is like a two-part question. What are you most proud of yourselves for in 2016? Could be dealing with a problem, trying something new, etc. And what do you want 2017 to be like? That's kind of like a goals. Most proud of yourselves for? Well, we've mentioned the day 2 a lot of times.
But damn, it feels good.
Yeah, sure does. Sure does.
Yeah, I would say, do you know what? I feel like I struggled for a while, being social.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am really happy with the number of people that we've met and, like, the number of people that I've, like, had a great time hanging out with.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so great. Everybody's so, like, wonderful and lovely. It's amazing.
I think that I'm just going to go a little bit more in depth first. I'm going to get real with you for a second. I'm not necessarily that I'm like, I'm so proud of this, but I'm happy that I didn't spectacularly blow up in my face. Let's put it that way. Doing coverage in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said on the show, like I've talked about how happy I was to be able to do that and how I felt really honored to be sitting next to Marshall and doing this job. But while I was doing this job, I had a moment where I was sitting there, while they were running a break or something. And I just thought to myself, I was like, I've never been happier in a job than I am at this moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have a day job, so that's weird to say, but I've never had that moment when you're just sitting there and you realize that you feel like you're doing something that you were born, like you came out from the womb ready to do. Which is weird to say because I studied my ass off for that.
Yeah.
GP. But what I mean is that it just felt so natural. Like I wasn't having to try. It wasn't an effort, even though I put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
It didn't feel like work.
Right.
When you were doing it.
Right. It just felt like this is just a perfect moment. And I don't know if you ever have this moment where you're just sitting around and you're like, this is a perfect moment. But that's what I thought. And so, I'm just getting all sentimental now. But that was something I was really proud of, that I didn't say anything terrible during that show.
And in terms of what I want 2017 to be like, in the context of all of 2016, just better.
Yeah, just better. Up and up,
Yeah.
All right, Rick has some serious questions for us.
Okay.
He asks, the world actually is a dumpster fire. What's that mean for people, maybe as gamers, but by extension as citizens? Mm-hmm. It continues, so many great Magic players have atrocious political views. What do we do as a community? Can games expand empathy, etc.? Also, if our current industrial society is not sustainable or sane, what is the point of games? Are we avoiding our responsibilities? Huge questions there.
Yeah.
From Rick.
Whew.
Wow.
All right. Let's start at the top.
Okay.
What does the world being a dumpster fire mean for people as citizens?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that a lot recently, and honestly, I think it just means that you I feel like you have an obligation to be active, like an active participant in society. So I think that is that answer for me. Like in terms of what does that mean? It means that like you can't address everything all at once. Yeah. We were just talking about this in terms of like what do I worry about that I can actually physically make a difference in?
Right.
Because I'm going to choose to not worry about the things that I can have no change,
right,
like can have no effect on. But it's like, hey, do you know what? If voting rights are super important to me, which they are, like I've thought about that as like, hey, what is a fight that's going to be really important to me in the next 4 years, or like in the next 2 to 4 years? Then it's voting rights is the big one that I think of. And so then I have become a member of organizations that are about getting the vote out.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Like, if you're unhappy, you've got to pick something and work to change it. You can't just sit around and do nothing.
Be massively unhappy, even though sometimes you have to do that.
You can, but
yes, or it just honestly, it just happens.
Right.
Some days you wake up and you're just like, everything is terrible.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That happens.
And I think as human beings and as gamers, I think what that means is that we have to take extra time and care to show support to our fellow gamers and our community. And so that means being a little more cognizant of what's going on in the world and how that might be affecting the people we're playing with or our friends or even our strangers who are around us, and maybe having that inform your behavior a little bit more. I'm always somebody who's supports being compassionate and empathetic in situations, and I think that's even more important now because a lot of people might be dealing with stuff that they weren't dealing with, quite frankly, this year, that they'll have to deal with next year.
Can games expand empathy, etc. was the second part of that. And I think that the answer to that is can games, maybe not necessarily, but can the human interactions created by gaming? Absolutely.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
I mean, what are we doing when we're playing Magic? I mean, we're playing a game based on math or whatever, but we're also embodying the spirit of these people, these planeswalkers that we're playing with, and all of them have different stories and different struggles and all that kind of thing. So, in a way, we're playing the part of people that we've never been, and, walking a mile in somebody's shoes is the whole idea sort of behind that, and,
And what is the point of our games, and are we avoiding responsibilities? I mean, yes, but also that's okay sometimes.
Yeah.
Going back to we've talked before about how it's exhausting because sometimes when you're in a minority, everything is political all the time, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's okay to take a goddamn break.
Yes, it is.
It's okay to sit down and play 3 hours of Magic.
Yeah.
Because you've had an exhausting day, or maybe you've had a disheartening day, and you need a way to keep going.
And community is what builds change in the world, right? Mm-hmm. And when we play games, especially a game like Magic, which is huge about community, we're building a community that, shows how people can relate to each other and interact in positive ways. And I think only good can come of that in the microcosm and in bigger society.
So what is the point of our games? Get out there and build community.
There is just something that related to what we were talking about before that I don't even know if we ever read this on the show, but it's such a good sentiment from friend of the show, Craig Wesco. Do you mind if I just read what he said once?
No, go for it.
Okay, so this was a quote he gave to Magic Players for Diversity. And I think it's just good guidelines going forward with how to interact with people in this new world we live in. When you meet someone at a Magic event, look beyond their physical characteristics and focus on who they are as a person. For instance, instead of pointing out that someone is the only person of a particular age, ethnicity, or gender in the room, or that they walk with a limp or in a wheelchair or whatever, find out what you share in common with that person. Is their Commander General the same colors as yours? Do you both prefer limited to constructed? Are you each fans of fantasy art? Do you both play other games besides Magic? Are you each doing well in the tournament? The best way to find out what you have in common is to politely introduce yourself and ask. Also, when you see someone in a Magic event, assume they are there to play Magic. Let them be the one to correct you if they are there for a different reason. Ask them how they are doing in the tournament. Invite them to join you in your Commander Circle or game of Codenames, that you and your friends are playing between rounds. If they don't have a deck or don't know how to play, offer to let them play with one of yours or show them how to play. Magic is the greatest game in the world. As ambassadors of this great game, it is within our power to make the Magic community the best community it can be. It starts with having a welcoming attitude that aims to make people feel included in the community rather than alienated from it. Anyway,
Aww.
So nice.
So nice.
Okay, we've got switching gears. How do you pronounce .gif?
GIF.
It's definitely not GIF. I don't care what you say.
It's a type of peanut butter.
It drives me crazy. If you had infinite money, is there a specific deck you would like to build? Any format, and what would it be?
I would build Legacy Miracles.
I would build a totally foiled out Boggles. Oh, wait, I'm already doing that. Just all foil, unhinged lands. Yeah. That's what I want. What would David S. Pumpkins be as a card?
He's his own thing.
I don't know. David S. Oh, gosh. It would have to be something really random.
Yeah. But he's his own thing.
Yeah, it would be like orange. The color of the card would be orange. Top quote of 2016 from each co-host on the podcast. Think candy on the sandwich.
Was that this year? Jeez.
Wow.
I think
that was this year.
Going back to what feels like great. So long ago. That was probably one of the more memorable things I've accidentally said.
I definitely really liked candy on a sandwich. I remember something I said, which to this day is still disturbing, when I was doing an impression of a British person, and I said, they have funny slang like, oh, I'm going to go suck down, you can go suck down a goose.
Suck a goose.
Suck down a goose suck as a British insult.
Yeah, no, that was my disturbing favorite. And what about you, Ghost Host?
Oh, yeah, great.
That was a great one.
That was classic.
That was classic. I still just remember the feeling of like my brain saying, like, creating the phrase being like candy on a sandwich, and just being like, wait a second, that's not a fucking thing.
It is now.
Like, it's not. Okay.
Steve Raffle drew candy on a sandwich.
Yeah, it's adorable as a holiday card.
Talk a bit about being a student.
Oh, yeah, that's it. They think I might do chemistry. I don't. I write.
Yep.
I graduate in January.
Yay!
I'm very excited. I'll be a Master of Fine Arts. Oh, yeah.
Next stop, Doctor Town.
Oh, man.
I just want to call you Doctor. Dr. Wolf.
Thank you.
If you had to associate yourselves with a Gildenravka, which would it be and why?
Man. Okay, so, like, originally I was Celestia.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, right?
Yes.
Like, back in the day. But these days, I feel Is It. I think I'd be Is It.
Yeah. I've been Rakdos and I still am Rakdos. But I do love, I have so much more appreciation for Is It than I did at the beginning of playing Magic.
Is It's great.
What was the best thing for each of you to come out of being a part of the Magic community? Oh.
I think we talked about
we always say it's the meeting people.
Yeah.
You know,
like we already talked about it. It's great.
Meeting
it's
players,
amazing.
Meeting fans of the show. It's, just awesome.
People are great.
Yep.
People are the best part.
Oh, I skipped a question.
Yeah.
What is your LGS like? What qualities make the best LGS experience for you? Oh.
Maria has filmed some stuff at our LGS meet hall.
So if you go to Wizard's YouTube channel, you can see I made a video there about the Standard Showdown at Mead, and you can check out what it's like. It's an awesome store. Yeah. Mead Hall, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
The people who run it are nice. All of the people who go there are, for the most part, really nice. Yep. It's like very nicely laid out.
There's
great a lot of table space.
Decorations. Like, it has a great atmosphere.
The atmosphere is really great.
It's made with a lot of reclaimed wood, which is really cool.
It's really cool.
It's got
looking.
A personality.
Yeah, it does have a personality. Mm-hmm. Which I think is actually, now that I think about it, is something that a lot of places are missing.
I agree.
Or that I don't feel the way I feel like when I walk into Mead Hall.
Is there anything you wish more LGSs would do? Be like Mead Hall.
Be like Mead Hall.
I mean, honestly, the reason, part of it is that, like, I feel supported there, right?
Yeah.
Nobody looks at me weird when I come in the door, like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's just like, oh, you're here to play. Okay, let's sit down, let's play. And we have a friendly game, and people are nice.
Yeah.
Because we're not, competing at a RPTQ or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like the owners would support me if I ever was like, hey, this thing happened, and it made me feel sad or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. If you could choose to be any kind of mage from Magic in real life, what would you be? Pyromancer, necromancer, etc. Oh! Wow! Oh, man. I could make fire happen, or I could raise dead bodies. That would probably end up being kind of gross in the end.
I would want to be a mind mage.
Oh!
Blue all the way, baby.
She's Jason it up.
Yep.
Man. I guess I would, man, Nissa doing stuff with the earth is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big tree person, so I guess I'm going to say whatever Nissa's Mancy is called. Landomancy? I don't know.
It's definitely Landmancy. You'd be like I don't know, what's it called? Like an earth mage?
Yeah. I'd be an earth mage. Real hippie. Where did Ghost House get its outfit?
Ghost House answered that one.
Oh, yeah. Fashion Bug. Yeah. Makes sense. Chris from the Girlfriend Basket asks, you two are the MTG equivalent of Mary Tyler Moore and Rhoda, driven, fierce, funny, and relevant. How do you do it?
By being from Minnesota. Mary Tyler Moore. Local lady.
From Minnesota. It's in the water.
It is. Or in this, we have to be that way to survive winter.
Yes, there's no other way.
You know, like if you have to want to live. or else the cold will get you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm driven to the point of like where I should probably be less driven as a human being.
Yeah.
But it's kind of my deal. I don't know. I've always been that way ever since I was a young child bossing people around. And now I'm a producer, and that's, you know, it's in the job description. So it all works out. Erin Campbell, also girl from Bracket, asks, how do you deal with the negativity that we as public figures and frankly as women face on the internet?
Do you want to say that word again?
What did I say?
I don't know. You said negativity weird.
Negativity.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Negativity. I have a bit of a sore throat.
I mean, for the most part, don't pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah, I think at the start, when it first hits you, it's something that affects you quite a lot.
Yeah.
It'd be lying if like the first time that it really happened to us, which was a couple of years ago, wasn't like you just feel exhausted, like you said before, because you feel responsible for your gender. You feel responsible for changing people's minds. You feel responsible for all of these things. Like, this is my job to do.
Yeah.
But in the end, sometimes, on one hand, the people who are messing with you are not serious and just doing it for fun, like for shits and giggles. And on the other hand, there's just nothing you can do. And you can only do what you do every day. And for us, that's doing the show. And so like, we're just going to keep doing what we do, and people can listen or they can't. And I think overall that hopefully we make change for the better based on what we're doing. Yeah,
I would say like it comes down to like talking about earlier, like focusing on the things that I can change and the things that I can't, and only worrying about the things that I can. Yeah. It's like that. It's like I stopped paying attention to it because it's like, do you know what? This is something that like I can't change, and honestly, I'm going to be okay with that because there are plenty of things that I can put my energy into caring about that I can make a difference in. Yeah. So I will put my energy into those things instead. Right. So. Yeah. So yeah. Whoa, what a mailbag. What a mailbag. All right. That was awesome. Thank you, everybody who wrote in with questions. Oh, no. There we are. That's We're back at the top. Yep. Holy cow. We did it. That was a lot of questions. And if you have any for future episodes or whatever, feel free to send us an email, magictheamateuring@gmail.com. Is our email address. Yeah. So we love responding to your questions, magic related, life related, whatever. You know, we'll do it. Yeah, we will. We will. We will. Aether Revolt previews. That's right. There have been a couple of cards that have come out that we have not talked about yet. Some of them are very exciting. Yes. So we do you want to start with the Big Daddy? Big Daddy? Oath of Johnny? Sure. I mean, that's look at those abs. Look at those abs. Like look at that face. Abs. Do you want to pet that? No, I don't. You're right. My bad. Oath of Johnny is a great card. Yeah. Green-white. For a legendary enchantment, when Oath of Ajani enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Planeswalker spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Wow. So as many people have pointed out, turn 3 Gideon. Yep. Oh boy. That's brutal. Wow. Green-white seems like it's going to be a deck. I mean, it already is. Yeah, that's true. And this card, seems like it will fit in quite nicely. Wow. With a lot of, This seems like the best oath to me that we've seen. I'm like saying that in a vacuum, like, right? Because sometimes you're just like, Oath of Nissa saw a lot of play for a while. It hasn't seen quite as much right now. What other good oaths have there been? But yeah, like Jace, Oath of Jace, meh. People play Liliana Chandra, sometimes, but but it's like not quite as good. But this seems great. Yeah, it seems really solid. I love putting counters on creatures. Yeah. I'm really into it. And it's not only because I love just having my cute little dice go onto creatures, but that's a lot of power that you're adding with one card. Yeah. Potentially. And then also casting Gideon early, casting Nissa early? Yeah. Like, boy. What? Oof. How much does she cost right now? 5. So at 4? Yeah. Or 6 mana Chandra at 5. Or 3 mana Liliana at 2. Oof.
You couldn't really, though.
Yeah, but that green, white, black. That's getting ambitious.
That would be weird.
That's getting way ambitious. And you wouldn't be able to cast it on turn 2.
Yeah.
Still would be turn 3.
But, man.
You could have, like, turn 4, you could play this and the 3-mana Nissa.
Yeah. Seems good.
So many shenanigans.
Oh, that's good. I feel like something's going to happen. That card is just packed.
Oh, in a band deck, you could play Tamiyo on the next turn.
Whoa.
Tamiyo Field Researcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we also have a Planeswalker, which we talked a little bit about last episode.
Yeah, Tezzeret the Schemer. Tezzeret, he of the giant robot arm.
Yep.
2 blue-black for 5 loyalty. +1, create a colorless artifact token named Ethereum Cell with tap. Sacrifice this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. -2, target creature gets +X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control. Or -7, you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn, target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 5/5.
So a lot of people are not super excited about this Tezzeret, but like we haven't seen the whole set yet. You know, nobody really knows. And like April mentioned, she said he felt like an upgrade for the Vintage Cube.
Yeah.
So there's that. But man, making Ethereum Cell.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw that movie with Jennifer Lopez back in the 2000s. It was weird.
Is that a real movie?
It was called The Cell.
Oh.
But like, it sounds like a movie she would be in.
Yeah. No, it does.
That's cool. I've never seen something that does that before. And helping you with your -2 ability from the +1 ability. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it all works together with the ultimate ability of making 5/5s. Yeah. Your vehicles become 5/5s, I guess. Mm-hmm. Which could be positive or negative. I don't know. It's got removal. Yeah. It doesn't protect itself other than its removal, but making mana rocks, I mean, maybe you just want to make some mana.
Yeah. And we'll have a talk with Judge Rob about how something like Tezzeret's ultimate ability interacts with vehicles.
Yes.
In case you're like, what? Is it a 5/5? Or if I crew my
I don't know.
Stupid copter, is it a 3/3? What is it?
I think it's just a 5/5.
Judge
Rob,
what
do you think?
We'll come and tell you.
Let's put bets on it right now.
I think it's probably a 5/5. But you have to crew it to give it flying, or does it always have flying? I think it might.
I don't know. This is some layer stuff going on.
I think it might be a 5/5 with flying. Who knows?
Let's talk quickly about Quicksmith Spy.
Ooh, yay.
This card is cool. It's a 3 and a blue for a 2/3 human artificer. When Quicksmith Spy enters the battlefield, target artifact you control gains tap, draw a card for as long as you control Quicksmith Spy.
Yes, please. Thank you.
That's pretty sweet.
Excellent. Great.
I love it.
I will play it.
That's great. She's
Love
rare.
It. All day.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool design. Don't know if this is like a standard puppy, but that is a limited powerhouse.
Yeah. Draw so many cards. And it had like the turn that it comes in.
Yeah.
You're going to at least draw 1 card off that sucker.
Yeah, replace herself right away. You have to have an artifact, but you
in
probably do.
What are you doing if you don't?
You probably do.
How do you not have one?
How do you not have an artifact?
How do you not have an artifact?
Did we talk about any of these other ones?
I think we talked about Yohenni's expertise.
Yes. Yeah, we did. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That card makes me very sad.
That card makes me so happy.
See, that's what you're going to have to pack to deal with my Oath of a Johnny coming down and pumping up all my dudes.
Yeah.
They're going to be 4/4s, and what are you going to do?
Kill them all.
Expertise. -3/-3. Nice try.
How are you making 4/4s?
I'm casting a lot of Oaths of a Johnny.
Oh, you're casting multiple Oaths of a Johnny.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You only get to keep 1.
Well, that's true. That's fine. I can't make my planeswalkers cost 2 less.
No.
I suppose that would be a little too good.
You really can't.
Until there's a card printed that's called Screw You, Legend Rule. And and you can have 2 legendary creatures on the battlefield at the same time. But your opponent can't, only you.
Only you. Fair enough.
That's probably only the name in playtesting, but
it'll have a different name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more of these will be coming out over the coming weeks. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Internet.
I'm so excited.
There will be so many cards.
We may have a preview card.
That's right, we may. You might get to see it. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at MTAcast.
The suspense.
All right, it's time for Flavor Text Theater Holiday Gift Giving Edition.
Yes, this is for anybody who gives late presents, which I am one of those people.
Yes. We're going to crack this booster of Kaladesh, given to us by Montana.
Thank you, Montana.
Thank you. Which I believe I ran into them at GP Dallas. I think it was Dallas.
Was it?
I think it was Dallas.
Was it?
It was a while ago. It was Dallas.
Although we've
thank you, Montana.
Demonstrated in this episode that we have no concept of time.
That's right.
Whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Either way, thanks, Montana.
Thank you. We're gonna crack it, and we're going to give gifts. We'll have to describe them.
So imagine these are all coming out wrapped as prettily as can be.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. You're really gonna like this present.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. How do I even I'm gonna give you open it. It's
okay.
It's just like kind of it's a paper plate. Like you can use it a little bit. And on top are 3 crackers and cheese.
You're giving me a paper plate with 3 crackers and cheese on them?
Yeah. So it's 3 crackers, 3 pieces of cheese on top of the crackers on this paper plate.
On the paper plate?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a really crappy gift, but if you're really hungry, it'll come in handy. Sage of Shayla's Claim. That's my best representation of this card. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. I'm not. It's not that I'm trying to encourage you. I'm not trying to say anything about how you should be eating. But I heard about this program where
this doesn't sound
good. You fast. Who
is this? My mom?
No, you fast for a day. And instead of for each of the meals that you would eat, you instead donate the cost of that meal. And it goes towards a charity that feeds specifically feeds homeless kids.
Okay.
So instead of doing canned goods or something like that, it's actually better BT dubs if you usually just donate directly to food banks or stuff like that with cash, which is a little known fact. So if you're gonna donate cash. Anyways, so you fast for a day, and then in turn you're giving the food for that day to someone. It's called Live Fast.
You live your fast,
or in turn you're giving it's like giving a gift of life to
Live Fast. There it is, right there, large and in charge behind us. I'm gonna give you a weird present. Okay. But I think you're gonna enjoy it. So I know you've been dealing with sometimes being stressed out playing a magic tournament.
Yeah.
And so what I'm gonna give you is a
Valium.
In a way. I'm going to give you, this is so illegal. This is not real.
Wow.
I'm going to give you a bracelet, a beautiful golden bracelet.
Okay.
But it's a flask. So there's alcohol in it. You just got to untap it and just kind of, and then screw the cap back on. Ornamental courage.
Yes. Don't drink a magic drink.
Don't do it.
Okay, look, I know that you have a lot of crafting projects that you like to work on.
Yeah.
But you're just one person and there's so many crafts.
That's true.
So you need just a little robot to help you out. You need a workshop assistant.
Oh, I would love a robot to help me with crafts. That sounds like my greatest dream.
Yeah.
I was a bit initially offended when you told me you were getting me some kind of meal program.
Sorry.
But then I found out what it was and it was fine. But in my anger, my revenge anger, I bought you a present.
You bought me a revenge present.
Yeah, it's a candy bar with razor blades in it. Appetite for the Unnatural.
Oh gosh.
Enjoy.
Okay, you know how there's a lot of issues with a lot of Disney films.
Yeah.
So this one is specifically in response to The Little Mermaid. It says, do you know what? They get married after knowing each other for literally 2 days.
And never talking.
There's issues with that. And so this is a film that was made that's the opposite of The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Where it is still, a mer person and someone from land, but they have lots of dates.
It's an acceptable courtship period.
Exactly. And you know, like there's a lot of like mutual, it's founded on a lot of mutual respect, not just like I like the way you sing type situation. It's aerial responder.
Yes, my new favorite movie. I'm just going to get you, this kind of a sadistic present. I'm going to get you the new iPhone.
Okay.
So enjoy that. But I'm also going to give you a lot of, like 3 pairs of headphones with traditional headphone jacks.
Wow.
That cannot be used with it.
Yeah.
Make obsolete. Get wrecked.
Okay, I know this is going to sound weird, but for Christmas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when you're not around, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to take 3 things that you really need.
What?
3 things that you use on a daily basis. I'm going to take them. And you're going to have to do without them for a week.
What? Oh,
but then at the end of that week, I'll bring those 3 things back.
So I realize how much I appreciated them?
Yes, you're reunited with them and you'll feel so great. It's going to be a cathartic reunion.
That is a terrible present. I don't want it. My present is a new one of those late night things you see on TV. They sell it exclusively in the Austin, Texas market. It's kind of like a homecoming gift for you. Ranch hands love this thing. I just thought maybe you get some use out of it. What it is a saddle that you put on a horse, but you maybe once you've been out horseback riding or whatever, you've had this happen to you where you just are like, oh boy, do I have to pee. I have to go to the bathroom really bad, but you can't because you're out riding a horse. Yeah. Well, you're in luck because this saddle is also a toilet. You hook up yourself up to it and you just pee right while you're riding the horse, and
Classic.
Empty it afterwards. It's called the Pima Outrider.
Classic Texan gift. Classic.
If that doesn't exist, let me ask you this, world. Why not?
Do you know what you really need? Is a statue as tall as your house. I'm getting you a metalwork colossus.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ooh, nice rare. I know how you like to do circus classes, so I just got you a gift certificate for them.
Oh, yeah?
Acrobatic maneuver.
Oh, thank you.
That's a true fact about Meghan.
Okay, like you liked that workshop assistant so much that I thought, like, what if it wasn't just a little robot? What if I introduced you as a gift, I introduced you to a new friend who doesn't know how to craft, that you could teach how to craft. You could take them under your wing and teach them how to craft.
It's a strange
gift. Your inventor's apprentice.
Oh, yeah, sure. I got you I got you a significant other for Christmas.
Wow. Thanks, buddy. It's really meddling in my personal life.
Yeah, but if you can always take it back if you don't like it. But it's somebody who I think will, fill a lot of needs. They're inventive. They're gonna make stuff for you. Nimble, innovative.
Oh, do you know what? Everybody needs a significant other who draws them 2 cards.
Yeah, I mean it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
So all of these cards, of course, going into the pile, heading off to our
December Patreon winner. Which, Maria, we know who that is.
We do know who that is.
Who is it?
So this goes off to somebody who has just recently become a patron in the month of December.
What?
That's right, a brand new
this one?
member. Isn't that this one?
No,
or is this
the
all the
playmat.
time? The playmat is December?
Is December.
Oh my gosh, I get so confused. So this is the overall person.
Yes,
okay.
This is a person.
Got it.
Donates to our Patreon.
All right, so this person it could be anybody. We've got some really cool stuff here from Shadowmoor and this pack, and I'm going to throw in an extra 2 packs of Battle for Zendikar. Because I'm that kind of person. And the winner is Michelle Rapp.
Yay, Michelle!
Michelle has been a wonderful patron of ours for a long time.
For a very long time.
So thank you so much, Michelle. You're awesome.
These will be heading your way.
This is heading your way. Probably a sticker as well. And then, so the playmat, which was, what was it? GP Denver. Is a beautiful playmat. Is going to new member of the Less Than 1% Club, Matthew De Leon. I might be saying that more fancy than you say it, but
how would you say it more basically?
Matthew De Leon.
No. No.
No?
Forgive her. She grew up in Minnesota.
Matthew De Leon. He's from California, okay? So if you live in California and that sounds like your name, you are the winner. You're going to get the playmat shipped off to you. Congratulations!
Yay!
And welcome to the Less Than 1% Club. If you want to be in on these drawings next month,
you
know what to do.
get on that Patreon. Not only that, you have our eternal love and gratitude, again, for helping keeping this show going and making it a sustainable practice.
Yeah, we are really close to our next goal, actually already on Patreon, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And makes us very, very happy because we want to be on our way to making more content for you more often.
Is the next goal hats?
Yeah.
I had this dream a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I sent Maria, I Googled custom winter hats.
Yeah.
And I sent Maria a million links that were like, what if we got hats? And she was like, that's crazy. But it's going to happen.
We're doing it.
Get to our next goal on Patreon. We will have
cute.
Custom good luck high five winter hats.
I'm so
They're going to be
excited.
adorable.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I want one so bad.
I know, so do I. But we can't make them until we hit that next goal. So
That's
get over there. Okay.
All right. All right, everybody.
Wow, that was almost in sync.
Well, telepathy is one of the practices of our
that's true.
alien.
That's true. It's been a fantastic 2016.
Well, it's been an interesting
in some ways.
2016.
In Magic, our Magic lives, it's been a fantastic.
It's been fantastic 2016. And here's hoping to an even better 2017.
Yeah, come along with us for the ride. Of course, remember our brand new, sort of revamped YouTube channel.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/MTAcast will get you there. Check it out.
Exciting.
I know, it is exciting.
Super
All the
cool.
video episodes are up there now.
Yeah.
We've got new content that'll be posted on there, so subscribe so you can get notified when it happens.
What?
Yeah, it's really cool.
And until the 31st.
Yes.
If you subscribe or follow our Twitch channel via that Gleam link, you will be entered to win that box of Eternal Masters.
And a big thank you again to Card Kingdom, our sponsors. If you happen to hit up their store, actually, in person, they've got a super sweet Tolarian Community College gift shop set up in their store, which is kind of cute.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
cardkingdom.com/MTAcast. They've been nothing but absolutely fantastic to us as sponsors, so we can't recommend them enough. Thanks, everybody, for being our friends this year. And hopefully you'll still be our friends next year, even though we've admitted our deepest, darkest secret to you. And your skin may be the one we're wearing next.
Oh my God, you can't say that!
I wasn't expecting such a shocked reaction.
It is legitimately the creepiest thing you've ever said. By a lot.
You say that every show.